I only just bought it yesterday. It's a cross between, looks very purple, but look how cool it is. You can just cut that potato in half and bury them separately. Where the leafy growth is then buried beneath the soil, it live please, live pawpaw please. Do you know what day it is today? It is potato sowing day. Potato sowing day? Yeah, that's what we're going to call it. I've got one of my varieties here. This one is Royal Blue. Looks very purple, but called Royal Blue. And I've had them chitting for the last 6 weeks, and they are ready to be sown. You can see all the nice growth from the eyes. And as I said before in my previous videos, I'm going to sow them in tubs this season. So let's get those tubs ready, and we're going to get them in the ground. Well, get them in the tubs. These are my 2 big tubs. I've got less of the purple ones, so I'm going to put them in the slightly smaller tub. And I think I'm going to plant them right near where I had them planted in a raised bed last season, because they did well in the raised bed. So if I put these just next to that raised bed, I'm hoping that'll be a good spot for them. Ooh, it's always a tight squeeze around here. I think if I put them here against the fence, one there and one next to it, should be good. Pull out some weeds while I'm here. Pull out an old hose while I'm here. Pick this Buddha hand lime while I'm here. Lemon. That smells beautiful. It's got some ants in the center. Get out. Look how cool it is. And it smells so citrusy. Some potting mix and some compost. Mix them together. Nice. I'm going to use the mounding method for planting potatoes. So you've got 2 methods really. You can either just bury them in the ground and just let them grow, or you can do the mounding method. Now this method will increase the amount of potatoes that you get. So as you you put them in a fairly shallow, what am I trying to say? Fairly shallow spot. You bury them fairly shallowly and you wait for the green growth to grow up. And as it gets a few inches above the soil, you then cover that extra growth with soil, mounding it up. That's why it's called the mounding method. Where the leafy growth is then buried beneath the soil, it will produce more potatoes at the leaf nodes. So that is how you do get more potatoes. So as it continues to grow, you mound it up a bit more, it'll grow again, and you mound it up. And so eventually you have a full pot of potatoes. That is the theory anyway. I haven't done the mounding method before. Previously I've just buried them and then just let them grow. So this will be my first attempt at doing that. So there's only about that much soil in there now. So I'm going to put them in and then just cover them over. And then we'll come back and add some more soil in a few weeks once that growth has emerged above the soil. Here is my pot. Here is my tomatoes. I keep calling them tomatoes. Clearly not tomatoes, although they are from the same family. Potatoes, tomatoes. And then I'm just going to stick them in. I'm going to stick them all in. It's going to be a lot of potatoes. Squished together. Now if you have a potato that has two eyes, there's some growth there, and there is some growth there, you can just cut that potato in half and bury them separately, and they will individually grow as new plants. But because I'm in this smallish pot, I'm just going to stick them all in together. I don't need any more plants. I think there's enough here. Fit them all in. It was 12 potatoes. Probably too many potatoes in this pot, but oh well. Now, just cover them up. Give it a good water, and then I'm just waiting for that growth to appear above the soil before adding some more soil. Might need a little bit more. No. Just a little bit more. That's better. And now for some going around in circles. Water. Okay. This is my potato bed. Well, this is the bed I used for potatoes last year, and as you can see, this is what the green leafy growth will look like. So at each leaf node that you then bury under the ground when you're mounding it up, it can produce more potatoes. So that's how you get extra potatoes. But I think I need to try and dig these up before I plant. What am I going to plant in here? I think this one's going to be corn this season. I'm going to put corn in here. I wonder what is in here. Let's dig it up now and see if there's any actual potatoes. I need a little something to dig them up with. Some very little potatoes. There's a bigger one there. Wonder if there's more. Doesn't look like it. What about this bed? There's a potato. It's a nice looking one. Could eat that. But that's about it. The soil looks pretty good though, so that's a bonus. Oh, it's a little bit green, so it's not really recommended to eat green potatoes because they can give you a bit of an upset stomach. So they will go in the compost to probably grow in the compost bin. My potting area has become a mess again. Did not take long. Sort myself out. Ooh, I reckon I'm going to use one of these little stakey things to use as a label for my potato. What was it? Royal blue. Royal blue on a blue label. Royal blue. Whilst we're in that, it's a bit dark. Maybe a different angle where you can actually see me. It's a bit better. I was going to say, whilst we're in the veggie patch, I'm going to tell you about my plan. I've decided I'm going to remove these middle growing frames. I have them in the middle two beds here. You see the other one? It's got covered in the snow peas. Just because I think I want to use more of that space. I might move half of this one that way to the end, so I could use some growing space right on the end there. But I've got my two arbors here, and then I've got my two big growing arbors out the back where the chickens are. So I just don't think I need this space in the middle here. Well, I think I can better use this space for non-climbing plants. But once they're done, I'm going to take it apart. And yeah, as I said, move it down here. And then I'll have half that don't know what I'm going to do with. I'm sure I can come up with a plan of what I can do with some of this stuff. Maybe put it against the fence, climb something against the fence. Anyway, who knows? We're going to plant that apple tree that I bought 2 months ago, 3 months ago, and I've been talking about it for the last God knows how long. It's Got distracted by the handle of my shovel. I just didn't know where I was going to put it, but I found somewhere. I've worked it out. But it does mean moving some other things that I planted. It's over by the greenhouse. Okay. The plan is, so if you remember, Ace just likes to throw his things around. Can you see that? You got a weird shadow line. It's hard to see. Let me show you this way. So my apple that I bought was discounted, but it's perfect for espalier shape-wise. But I didn't know where I was going to plant it. So back over here, I had another $20 bargain that I got, which was a Tangelo, which is a Tangelo. Again, in a shape suitable for an espalier. How do you say it? Espalier? Espalier. Espalier. But decided I don't like it here. That's going to come out shortly. And then this one, the Yosterberry that I bought a few months ago too. I'm going to take that one out and move that into my food forest. And then the apple is going to sit in the middle and espalier across here to provide a little bit of shade for my little things, my seedlings in the greenhouse. That is the plan. That is the plan, Stan. Splinter, see, I knew that was going to happen. It's annoying. This poor Tangelo doesn't look like it's done anything, so I need to find a suitable spot for it. Yosterberry, out you come. Now I need to put the apple in the middle, which is not where that hole was. It's about here. I think that is the winner. Now what should I grow underneath it? Got this whole bed here. Something low growing. Flowers or edibles? What do you reckon? Let me know in the comments what you reckon. Flowers or edibles? Underneath the apple tree. Now I have these two star pickets here, but I might move them in a little bit and then get some mesh, maybe one of those mesh pieces from those middle beds, and then I'll secure it into position. But maybe not today. I think Yosterberry is going to go here in this corner where I had that other pawpaw growing that did not survive. If I can dig down deep enough, gravelly. Oh yes. Pretty good fit, I think. I've never grown this plant before. I only just bought it yesterday. It's a cross between a black currant and a gooseberry. Gooseberry. If you've had them before, let me know what they're like in the comments. I'm excited to try them. Beauty. It wasn't too painful. And whilst we're in the food forest, I might see if I can save this paw. I'm going to put this netting up, or attempt to put it up a bit better, just to try and protect it from the last of this cold that we might have before spring. See if I can get it to come back to life. I just need a hammer. Yep. This is my very rudimentary cold cover attempt at protecting. How am I going to hammer that in? Going to hammer it in the other way. The cold winds generally come from that way. So if I put something here, we'll try and protect it a little bit. And this is just my bird slash pest netting. Okay, decided I'm going to do like a bit of a triangle and then stick the netting, just like drape the netting over it. And maybe that'll create like a bit of a sun trap during the day, but also stop excess cold during the night. Come on. There we are. She's all tucked in. Live. Live, please. Live, Popo, please. Another of my tropicals. My Kensington Pride mango that I'm trying to keep alive. It's looking a little bit worse for wear, but not absolutely horrible. Just need just a few more weeks. Just giving it some words of encouragement. Now to put my poor old Tangelo somewhere. I've got a pot over here. This old terracotta pot here that just had nettles growing in it. So I'm going to put it in here for now until it might stay in here, or I might move the pot somewhere else. Probably needs a bit more soil, but hopefully it starts to look a little bit happier than it currently does. The sun is finally getting a little bit of heat to it, which is lovely. Can finally take the old jacket off and just be in a t-shirt. But thank you again for joining me in my garden. Don't forget to give it a good old thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and if you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to my channel. And if you are interested, if you do want to support my channel, you can become a member, which is less than the price of one coffee per month. And for that, you'll get early access to all my videos as well as exclusive content. I'll put a link in the description where you can join up if you do wish. And until next Sunday, happy gardening. Bye.